So what's working right now in my dumpster rental business? In 2025 so far, there have been some changes. Some changes that I was involved in making decisions as the business owner. And then also I've had some changes with customers and what their needs are and what's been going on. So I want to share with you that. First off, the bookings. I've seen some booking trends change in my business. So far, obviously we had January, very cold, very icy. Not a whole lot of families spending outside time, barbecuing and cleaning up and doing different things, okay? So January, a little bit of an oddball month, but February, even though it's still just as cold, I did see an uptick in my February numbers. As far as bookings go, there was not a weekend warrior type of theme that I've seen so far this first quarter. It was fairly consistent through February, but I also saw an uptick in my February numbers, close to doubling my numbers. So that was noticeable. A part of those customers and the uptick in rentals was more and more contractors, not just homeowners, which the majority of the time I do have primarily homeowners as my customers. I do have some contractors who occasionally need some backup support to their dump trailer, or it's just too big of a job for them. So I did have some contractors reach out more often, more recently, and have some bigger projects. Along with that, I had more same-day swap outs, doing back-to-back-to-back, doing multiple swap outs in one day. That is not as normal for me. They do happen, however, even in February and then into March, where again, I just about doubled my numbers again in March. Very eye-opening to see, yes, I'm having more contractors, yes, I'm having more same-day swap outs and doing just multiple of them, but seeing a change in the type of customer overall so far. So if that were to prove true going through the rest of the year and continue that, we're talking game-changing numbers for my business. At the very least, I can say that with confidence. So definitely seeing a trend in the bookings and the type of the booker who's booking these dumpsters with me. So definitely a change in that, in the right direction. It is working. Another thing that's been changing, that's been working well for me in my dumpster rental business so far this year, with the increase, the uptick in bookings and doing multiple swap outs. Most of these swap outs and jobs that I've been doing have been 20 yards or 25 yards. Now, in the last couple of videos here, I've mentioned I've changed some things up in my business. I've gone through all that I've gone through with my health. I've added different size cans to my business. I added a 7-yard for concrete. I bought an additional 20, and then a 25 is the first 25 I've ever had. Well, that was rented out like a madman. So I ordered 2 more 25s to double down on it. So I have 3 25s, 5 20s, and then my old 215s, the 10s that can't work right now because of the truck issue, and then the 7-yard. So with that, I am now seeing a slightly changing in performance of the top dog. You know, having the 20-yard cans, I had 3 and then I added the 2 more to it. Having 5 20s and now 3 25s. And honestly, the 25s have been rented out this whole time just about. As soon as Raider got them built over at Matt Corporation, they were gone. They were out. It was fantastic. I even had one customer say, okay, well, when that next those 2 25s are built, just let me know, and as soon as you bring them home, just bring one straight to the property where we're doing a whole house build. Waiting on the dumpster to be built for me to go then deliver it to them. So incredible. I'm very happy with the 25. So the 20 and the 25 are my top competitors, my top contenders for the number one. Up until this point, it's really no chance with 15 to 20 or 10 to 20. 20 has been my consistent top dog. However, as we increase the size, I do think even with less dumpsters, doing more and more swap outs with those, I think 25, even if I just stay at 3 25s and 5 20s, I think my 25s are going to overtake my 20s. We'll see how that goes, but I think the ability to pull some new clientele from 30-yard cans down to 25s, when originally I was just offering 20s and maybe double dipping. Here's 2 20s for a better price, or to be a 40, or whatever, if they're asking for a 30. Being able to offer that extra 5 yards, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but if it does to the customer, it doesn't matter what I think. The numbers speak for themselves, and I think my trend is about to change since I've added more recently the 25. So my top dog being the 25, I think is very quickly approaching. Something else that's been working very well in my business in 2025 so far has been my change in my price strategy. Now, I, up until this point, have basically had my pricing set for 3-day rentals. I have not offered a week, a month, 2 weeks. I've offered a 3-day rental because of having such low inventory to be able to flip them faster. And I do believe that's not a wrong thing to do when you are very small. But as I have been able to add more cans to the business and seeing the numbers change, it has made sense. So I added a 7-day rental on top of my 3-day rental. And then I also changed my day rate. Now, when you have very few cans, it is important to be able to flip those cans as quickly as possible and to be efficient. You need to be efficient with every little thing you have because you don't have much. Okay? So for myself, I was in that scarcity mentality of the efficiency having to be there. I cannot allow a can to just sit there an extra couple of days, because that could have meant another several $100s for me to be able to flip that can again and again and again. So I have had my day rate be double, triple, quite a bit more. I started out having my day rate at $75 after the initial rate. Now, the initial rate was 1 or 2 days and it was much lower. So the scales of the value that I've put on time versus the dumpster just to be delivered for a day or a smaller period has changed. I now have lowered my day rate after the initial period, whatever that is, a 3-day or a 7-day, down to $20 a day with virtually zero backlash. Nobody said a word. Other companies, $7, $10, $15. Nobody that I know of being at $20. So I'm at the top for the day rate now, and nobody said a word about that, which has been fantastic. So I'm still kind of getting the best deal on that end. But I've also now incorporated for the customer a 7-day rental, which is a much better deal than certainly what it used to be for my old day rate. But a 3-day to a 7-day is a $50 difference. And if they, obviously if they book a 3-day and then add on more days, that will add up to be a more expensive route, since they took it out of inventory. So if they pay for a 7-day, they're going to get a discount compared to a 3-day adding on additional days. So with that, I have seen a huge change in over the phone sales, being able to convert them, to be able to book the dumpsters at a 7-day. Now, I have had people in the past want a 7-day rental, and I've converted them. They've gone with my route, or you know what, actually, I'll make a special deal for you. I'll make this work for you. And I did give them a little bit of a discount compared to my previous pricing. But now that I officially have, and honestly, it was very difficult to swallow. To swallow a $50 difference in price, adding on 4 more days to be a full week-long rental when you only have a handful of dumpsters, that kind of blew my mind. However, I trusted the process basically at the beginning of the year, and it has made a huge impact in the business. My 20-yard 7-day rentals is making waves in my business. My 25, and this is something else that I changed a little bit. I only right now allow a 7-day rental for a 25-yard. I don't offer a 3-day rental for my 25-yard. So that's a new experimental thing. The largest size that I have, having a higher dollar amount, whether they only need it for 2 days or a week, they're paying for a full week, being at the highest price. And likewise, on the other end of the spectrum, my 10-yard dumpster, I only have a 3-day price. So the largest has the longest, and the smallest has the shortest amount of time. A 10-yard dumpster, you can't fill that up in 3 days, then you're going to be kind of penalized for not being able to do that, adding on each day $20 per day. And then the other side of things, a 25-yard dumpster, I guess technically you could consider it penalizing a customer for filling it up faster, but so far nobody has said a word about that. A 7-day rental for a 25-yard, whether it was 3-day, 5-day, yeah, we'll call you if we're done with it earlier. So far nobody's really called me, and it's just worked. It's worked very well. So that has gone very smooth. That's been working in 2025 so far. Another thing that's been working very well in my business so far, and kind of piggybacks off of a couple other points I've already made, is my type of customer. Now, because I have more 20s and I now have multiple 25s, not just one of them, I'm now able to do swap outs and to be more efficient and to be able to offer that type of value to meet their need more directly, quickly. Before, I just had 2 20s. And if one of them was already rented out, that meant that no matter how far away they were, whether they were in town, local to me, or far away, if they needed a swap out, that means I'm driving, picking up, going to dump, and then it's a dump and return essentially. Now, with having 5 20s and now 3 25s, even if one of them or multiple of the 20s are rented out, there's a decent chance that if they need back-to-back 20s or back-to-back 25s, I can pull that off. I can keep them moving. I've used that exact value proposition on the phone to be able to convert some people, to be able, especially the contractors, which of course, bigger money in bigger projects, right? So I have been able to do that because of the additional cans, because of having a day rate that makes sense for contractor pricing, and everything all together. It's been at a blended, at the right time, the right place. Everything has worked very well to have that level of efficiency that they need, that they demand to have in their projects. And so that has been working very well in 2025 so far. Maybe the best I've ever been able to, even if I did have both 20s or both 15s to keep somebody moving. I now have the flexibility. I'm not burning other customers who, oh, sorry, for the next 3 days I'm doing swap outs with another customer, I can't get you. I'm able to retain those other customers and meet the needs of these bigger customers for my operation. Okay, thank you. This is the house where I actually ran over a kid's bike tire, and the, like, not the spoke, but the like spindle or the middle part of the tire actually punctured my brand new tire. Quite literally rolled over right over there, and then literally stabbed through this thing, put a huge hole in the tire. So I was not too thrilled about that. This is my own fault. But yeah, I found out the Cam Concepts trailer, the hydraulic jack can lift up the truck in the rear axle. So that was actually pretty awesome. So pretty happy about that. Was able to swap that out very, very quickly, honestly. So worked out well. We got the cameras here ready to roll, so we'll be cooking there. I do have to start up the engine over here, but get it all lined up, get the party going. It looks like they're moving the van. Give them a little more space if they need. Yeah, this is one of the new 20-yard cans that I got. And as soon as I picked it up, it was, I believe it was like the next morning is when I ended up delivering this. So beautiful timing. Another customer I didn't have to turn away, and we made it happen. So there we go. That's pretty close, lined up. The trailer is absolutely a different type of beast compared to the truck, but honestly, it's really not that bad. Oh, oops.
Yeah, I've got a little rubber right there.
All good. Oh yeah, isn't that just beautiful? Pretty sure that's lined up just magically. Oh, close, pretty close. See where it lines up over here. I do like seeing this view here right at the hook, but doesn't give me the exact perfect angle to see, so I usually use one of the side mirrors as well as that to see how that goes. And we're on, baby. We are cooking. Hopefully we have no punctured tires here as we leave the property. I'm assuming some of those, oh, nope, that might have been one of the bikes on the other side of this tree where it took me out. No, it must be already gone. We are out of here. Let's get back to it. One last area to share with you in this video. of things that have been working well in 2025 in my business is my website. My website has been working very well, and specifically, very intentionally, the forms that customers have been filling out. The forms that they ask for a quote, they want more information. There's various places on my website where they go to fill out a form, their name, email address, little statement, their phone number, of course, and they give me that little blurb of whatever they're looking for. I have it already set up. I created a kind of a prompting, a funnel essentially in high level, my CRM, to automatically text them. I will then text them or call them, whatever I'm able to do at that point, ideally to call them, to get them on the phone. But I will reach out to them on top of an automated thing that will go out. If they don't respond to that, I have additional things that will go out after that. And so being able to follow up well, I already had this introduced last year, but specifically seeing this year's numbers, to see this year's number of bookings and how many of them came directly from a form fill out. They evidently were on my website and they chose to not book directly online. They needed more confirmation. They wanted more information. Somehow, some way, they reached out, which is a huge thing. And to specifically have a system in place to follow up with them. And obviously that requires me. It can't just be AI, bots following up with that. There is a human touch that people still crave, even in an online potential booking situation. People they don't do it that often. They want to feel more secure. They want to talk to somebody on the phone somehow, some way to do it. So I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. As much as I would prefer in a selfish way to not have to talk to somebody all the time, every day, whatever, to get them to be able to book, for them to just go to the website and book online, which would be simpler for me, save me time. Some people just they want that human contact. And so that form has been very effective this year. I already had it pretty much built out last year, but hitting the ground running this year, it has been very noticeable. That has been a key factor in my business. If I'm able to get them on the phone from that form, I call them as quickly as possible. If I'm able to get them on the phone, I'm usually closing them. I would say it's more rare to not close somebody. If they filled out the form and I get them on the phone, hopefully within a few minutes. Sometimes it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Somehow not seeing it on my phone, hearing the notification. It's really a timing game, but trying to immediately respond to them as quickly as possible. So that's been a huge thing so far in 2025, and we're in springtime. People are starting to come out of their hibernation, start to look to doing more projects, as well as contractors potentially. I have had a few contractors even do that, which normally I would assume they would just call, and they're just the first person who they call who actually gives them what they want. That's who's going to make it happen for them. And obviously, with the price is an important factor too. But I've even had a few contractors fill out that form. So maybe that's normal for you guys where you're at, but that has been a difference in my business, and it has gone well so far. So these are some things, not everything, but these are some very noticeable things in my business that have been working very well in 2025. And I'd love to say that it was just a full master plan, that I knew everything was going to kind of slide in and work very well all together at the same time. But I didn't know that. These things were in their natural progression in the business growth, as well as my growth and my mentality changing and adapting and learning as a business owner, kind of getting out of my own way, stopping myself, making myself stumble in some of these decisions where I've hesitated. But this year, because of everything that's going on, it makes me look like I'm a genius. Everything is just fallen right into place, and I'm very grateful for it. But there's always going to be new things that are going to be changing, and I'll need to adapt into it and roll with the punches. So let me know if this was a help to you. If any of these points, these thoughts, it's not earth-shaking. This is the natural progression of a dumpster business. However, this is how it's worked out for me in my timing, with where I'm at, with how many dumpsters I have. Let me know down in the comments below. Did you start out with 10 or 13 or 20 or whatever for your business? What does that look like for you to scale your business as you have gotten more customers, as you've changed your prices, as you've done everything? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was an encouragement to you. Make some changes in your business. Be thoughtful about it. Be tactful about it. You can do this. You can build your business. Listen to your customers, and you're going to make it happen. Don't forget to smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you in the next one, guys. God bless. And don't forget, be relentless.